Hello and welcome. Today is the 12th of August 2017. Welcome. I'm going to go over the Bitcoin chart in this video. But before I do that, I want to talk about my holdings. So if you want to go to the chart, just fast forward to where you see the chart and you will see it, because this will probably be a few minutes. As I want to go over these 13 codes. Now, number one I see as the gold of cryptos for me, which means I find it relatively safe. And it's been showing, of course, the last several weeks and months as it's now making very good all-time highs when many of the ones below it are just falling really poorly. And that's why I make sure that it's my number one holding. In fact, all the codes from 2 to 13 are less in United States dollar value than number one, which is Bitcoin. And that's, of course, by design. Another big thing is with codes number 2 and 3, XBY and NLC2, I'm finding ways of, mostly with XBY, not in that of getting free Bitcoins really, really easy. I've wrote a little bit of an essay on that, and I got a bit more to go on. It'll probably be available within about 7 or so days. I'm just going to write a few different paragraphs, and one of it is how easy it has been to be able to make some decent gains, and they've been turning into Bitcoin. Now, NLC2, I had no idea I'd be playing it like I am now, where it's got a much, much higher portfolio value than it did on the July 31st and even August the 1st for that matter, as it has went up much higher. But to be able to basically have twice as many tokens than I did when it broke out, and they're all free, that's just magnificent. Then the ones below it, Dash, Ethereum, and then Ethereum Classic, which I just recently bought, meaning it went down some more. I buy when it goes low, and I sell when it goes high. And I've been selling an okay amount of it, thinking, oh my goodness, bear pattern, got to sell a little bit, put a buy order in cheaper, boom, and it hits kind of deal. And I kind of think it's probably a little too high on my list, but you know what? That's why by design I'm making sure Bitcoin has got a very large value versus the rest. Monero I've been loving the way I'm playing that. Litecoin, I think it's going to have some big gains later on, but the reason why I like to hold these is because when they're ready to go, they're ready to go. And I don't know when that's going to be, but I expect it to be. Same thing with Zcash, Bitcoin Cash, number 10. Well, that was free, so I just haven't stopped day trading it, so that's why it's number 10. I'm just trying to pick away at the high points. I'm going to sell. When it goes down, I'm going to buy. And technically speaking, I can never lose on the trade because I'm never adding Bitcoin Cash that wasn't given to me, because my balance of it is about 30% of what was given to me, so the rest of it has already been profited out. NEO, formerly known as Ant Shares, man, this one is rising nicely. So I'm glad it's on there. I mean, I wish it'd be a little higher maybe, but you know what? So be it. That's all fine. Number 12, UBQ. I've been accumulating a little bit of that. When I wanted to get in, it was so high, just like NEO or Ant Shares, that I had to wait for it to pull back to get in. And with both cases, I wasn't able to buy what I wanted to because it didn't pull back as much as I was hoping it would. So that's a big reason why they're only 11 and 12. And ArtByte is just a technicality that happens to be a pattern that I like. So when I day trade this, I'm not day trading this to gain Bitcoin like I am with XBY big time, and where I am with other codes. Definitely BTC Cash, I'm trying to get Bitcoin, but what I mean by that with ArtByte is I'll have a situation where, okay, I just bought, say, 1,500 tokens. Okay, let's sell 1,000 of them, which is pretty much at the same price I bought them, trying to get 500 free tokens. And I've gotten a lot of free tokens by doing that, which is why it was just like one of the whatevers. It was like my 40th I got 103. So at one point, and I've always usually had a bunch, so at one point it was just like what normally is like near the bottom of all the other ones. It was worth like $15 or $10 or something, and I just added a little bit here and there, and then I had some major gains that came into play, both with the price going higher and then of course with the trading of such. So this is basically how I'm doing it. Just a little quick example of pretty much how I trade everything. And this is just a whatever kind of chart. Is I'm going to be putting buy orders in at different spots. Oh, buy order here. Okay, we'll put a sell order here. Say we have a buy order here. Okay, we'll put a sell order here. And then just put a bunch of other buy orders in. And we can see that they would get hit when they're supposed to. And you're always going to sell higher. So at this stage, as it plays out now, there would be a buy orders maybe here and here. There would be some sell orders wherever up top. And everything, of course, that was bought basically in here, that all this stuff would already be sold, because there would have been chances to get good profits. In fact, everything you sell here was definitely bought on this decline. And even say, for example, maybe if you would have sold here, well, you would have maybe put a buy order down here, and that would have got hit on this level as well. So that's really the basics towards it. I don't even think you would really even need to understand much about technical analysis to at least do pretty well at it, in the sense of not knowing which numbers to choose, other than, oh, I sell something at 100, let's buy it back at 80. Oh, I buy it at 80, let's sell it back at, well, there you go. Do you sell it at 95? Do you sell it at 100, 120? That's where technical analysis comes into play. But anyway, that's just want to go over a basic summary of such. Now let's put on the Bitcoin chart. This is the 15-minute time frame, which shows that we're at all-time highs at 39.62, or pennies away from what they would have been moments ago. This thing obviously keeps going up. Now, I've talked about Fibonacci upside on a both intermediate and long-term level, being 41 and change, and we can now do that again short-term level within this high and this low. And we got a calculation in at 40.69. So therefore, just like it's already been calculated, and as I've been stating, it's just approaching this level. So when you see a correction like this, you knew in a matter of time there was a very high chance that it was going to correct and go higher. Now, what to be fast? Okay, that's what it was. And maybe in this level it would go, oh, maybe it would have went down lower to 35.80 or something and then go higher. That could have been an example. And as I was talking about with my strategy, and I'm not playing this short term enough, where I just haven't been trading this for a while because I'm waiting for 4,100. So the only mistakes I might be making is, well, you know what? I do have US dollar tether. And while technically they're not part of, I really have a few of those, and they're not listed in the top 14. They kind of are in there. But anyway, I should have taken some of them and bought in here. I mean, that's like, and then, oh, if it goes down lower, buy again, because I've already got the confirmation after this break that it was probably going to go to that 41 and change level, probably pierce above it. So therefore, I do think that 4,200 is coming in place. So this is the short term. Just quickly taking a look at it, very short term, then moving on to the daily. And this is the 1 minute time frame as at 29 hours, 29 p.m. Eastern Time. All-time highs, 39.78. By the time you're watching, it's probably already, or has been, over the 4,000 number. And even by the time I show the weekly chart, which in real time will be a couple of minutes, because we're going to move this on to the daily next. And this is just accelerating ever since the key level. And the more often you resist the level, the more often you go in a sideways notion, with that, of course, being a key area, just a correction through time, strengthens how big a certain area is. Thus, the 29 change psychological 3 number was huge on the break. Beautiful gain, amazing consolidation. I've been talking about this a little bit, how it didn't correct through price. It even didn't correct sideways in a bull flag type pattern, which is something like this is a bull flag, and even more longer term, this was a bull flag. Didn't do that. It grinded its way higher. That's pretty much how I determined that pattern. And then now this is looking like the third day of decent green candle up. No more of this grinding its way higher. Let's just go higher kind of deal. It's done it several times before. It's doing it again. The 4100 level, I showed it, or 40 change. This one in here, I'm not going to bring the numbers over again, but this is like 40, 30 or something, 40, 40, but in that area. It's from this high and this low. Now let's move this on to the weekly chart. And within this, the target for this one is this high to this low. And every single time within the 18 average, whenever it's been rising and it leaves it, OMG, what a huge move. Now, back in 2012 into 13, it was parabolic extreme, to say the least. And we're not having that by any means now. But overall, it kind of is. It's just because it's more mainstream. But to go from the level of 12 up to, like, what do we got there? Like 260, 250? That's about a 20x gain. Like OMG kind of deal. Then the sideways correction. That's like, just trying to slow down, not speak so fast. That's something like the sound. Now I'm just like, whatever. So there's a sideways correction that I had for quite some time, and its break above its 18 average of highs. OMG. Going from about a 140 up to about 11, so about a 7-8x gain from the break of resistance, and the low, which was in around 70, would have been about a 13x gain from the low. Another OMG kind of moment. Well, so far, from whether it be even this low in here, because that's, I'm not going to count this as a key low, because I'm saying this, well, how much you'd be up from that point, because let's face it, 150, 160 on the start of the year, you really, not many people bought there. But a lot of people very easily could have bought at 200, given that 200 is right in here. That was easy to buy. Very easy back then. So now we're looking at going to 4, so that's 20x, but it's taken to do so now the time frame of 2 years to go from this point all the way up. But now let's look at the 18 average rises within. Now this is from a flat one, but it's been having the similar type of moves each time. This is a logarithmic chart, so it shows each move in coordinates based on percentage gain. So therefore you have a little bit of a move correction. And here, nice decent move, correction. Small grinding its way higher here. Took a long time to do it, although at the very end of its move, it had a good volatility to conclude it. As we can see in here, it broke and there's two decent periods, and then into this, it got over 11. But in here, it broke this 18 average and had an okay move. In here, it had an explosive move. So obviously, this one has taken the cake from the actual bottom. Still, these two take the cake over both of them as of now. But as we stand out on this breakout, and it's early in this breakout phase, so I'm going to talk more about this 41 very soon, but it's barely gotten above the band. But more importantly, what I notice in this is that the size of the breakout from the 18 average of lows is nothing like it occurred in here. Nothing like here, nothing in here, nothing like in here. So therefore, it's a change of pattern that we've been accumulating. or long time ago, there was this, oh, this trend line is broke to the upside. Oh, has it now? Yes, it has. And look at how the acceleration has went forward. Now, this is like an impossible trend line to break. We'll see. But what's in need, if it's going to change the rate of ascent, is to find an uptrend line that is greater than this rate of ascent, but obviously lower than, well, I mean, that would be interesting if this move actually reaches that point, but we'll just throw that point out away. But it's starting this move with major gains, which is even better than how it started in here. So the potential for what this can do is magnificent. 41, 42-ish or so, I think has a decent chance at least of being some sort of short term, maybe a little bit midterm, but if there isn't any resistance in this area, and even really up to like 5,100 for that matter, because a pierce above this here, okay, we got a fib up target of like 4,100-ish. So therefore, what would be a little more? 42? No, this is extreme volatility. And even 5,000, maybe 5,600, 5,500 might be what a little more would be. But if it's not going to be resisting anywhere in that area, and you start to see like just keep going and going, then the expectations for extreme moves, something like we have seen before, where you have sick green candles, whether it be in consecutive form, whether it be in huge size, will come into play. Because mathematically, there should at least be some sort of resistance soon that should at least entail some sort of pullback. And again, like I say, if it doesn't, watch out. Now, this is the free market that is putting this all together. And the reason why you have declines in free markets, one of the biggest reason is because of, well, mainly profit taking. When you get to these gains, you get larger volume in trades that take coins out or into US dollars or other currencies. And then that can cause other people to follow suit. And then you got new situations, the fork this, other alternate coins are going to do this, which will lead people to do something in coordinates. But the fact that fiat currencies are as manipulated and exposed as they are is leading people to pretty much drive this market towards the upside. Wow, 18 minutes now. I was planning on doing about 12. Alrighty, so thank you for tuning in to tonight's video. And I'll talk to you on Sunday. Bye-bye.